Bonjour mesdames et messieurs, in this episode I do some critiques of Instagram photos. Bonjour mesdames et messieurs, my name is Serge Ramelli, I'm a French photographer living in the beautiful, the incredible city of Paris, France. But right now I am in New Zealand, Queenstown, a beautiful place. I came here to work with Trey Ratcliffe on a photo adventure. It was amazing. I've never been neither to Australia or New Zealand. This side of the planet, it's beautiful. It reminds me like Switzerland, but 50 years ago. Or how it must have looked 50 years ago. Breathtaking. I want to talk to you about Instagram. I have a hashtag called Photo Serge Review. If you hashtag that on your photos, I can see them, and every day I will post one of my favorite photos and I will share it. So this will help you, get more subscribers on your Instagram. So use the hashtag PhotoSergeReview. But also don't forget to first follow me at @PhotoSerge, @PhotoSerge. So let me show you this week's Instagram photo critiques. All right, so bonjour mesdames et messieurs. So remember that if you want me to boost your Instagram account, all you have to do is take some of your best photos and hashtag it PhotoSergeReview. And I can see it, and every day I will be posting on my Instagram one photo that has a photo search review so people can follow it. And once a week, I will be taking some photos random and we're doing critiques like I'm going to do today. All the critiques that I'm going to do today, I'm going to put the link of your Instagram in the description of this video. So don't hesitate to follow these people on Instagram. They did some great job. All right, so let's start off with this photo. This is a photo from ODonnell, and I just really love this photo. And it's funny because he made something which I usually don't do, is he has some high frequency texture as a foreground. Now, why do I mean by high frequency texture? What I mean by that is anything that is very small and tiny, and you have a lot of it, like grass or small rocks or beach sand. All this is texture where there's a lot of elements. I call this high frequency texture. And usually I don't like to have this as a foreground. But in this case, the fact that he made it darker, that it's got this sort of magenta dark sepia look, it just works great. He's got good leading lines into a very nice sunset, nice reflection in the water. There is a little bit more of land and there's a bit of sky, nice vignetting, very good drama, not too much saturated. Very well done to ODonnell. Okay, now going to Jacob Williamson of the Redondo Beach. Now, I kind of like this photo because it's, again, a high frequency texture, but he made the sand very dark, so we don't have too much attention on it. And I think this photo is a great example of what it means to guide the eye of the observer. You see, by making this darker, by making this vignette effect, I am forced to look in the middle of the photo where the sun is. And the sun is very diffused, so that's very well done. There is a bird there that I like. I'm not crazy about the colors. Maybe I would have add a little bit more magenta here. But my name is Serge Ramelli Magenta. Next, we have this photo from Louis SLB Soares. It's a photo from Denmark. Now, I don't like so much this photo, and I want to explain why. For me, there's two things wrong about it. The first one is, I don't know what the subject is. Is it the village, or is it the boat, or is it both? I think the boat would have been a better example, but the fact that it's stuck here, close to the border of the photo, just, the boat needs to breathe and doesn't breathe. Maybe he couldn't be larger because there was an ugly car here. I don't know. But in any case, if you want to communicate a subject, your photo's got to have a message, and I find the message confusing. That's the first problem. The second problem is that there is too much middle gray in this photo. When you want to do backlight white, you want to go from having a lot of dark, a lot of white, and a little bit of middle gray. And I think he's got too much middle gray, and he doesn't have enough darks. If you want to see what I mean, go and download for free my presets called the Ansel Adams preset. You will find this if you go to YouTube and you type Serge Ramelli Yosemite, you will find for free my Lightroom presets, and you will see what I mean. By one click, you will get a lot more darkness and a lot of more whiteness. So I would have made the top even darker here, made the bottom even darker here. I would have made a little bit the reflection a little bit brighter. This a little less brighter because this is burned out. And voila, to make it a more interesting black and white. But in any case, it's an interesting photo. I think it just could have been much better. So don't hesitate to follow our friend luis.slb.suarez. You will find his link on the description of this video. Next, we have Ryan Steele. I love this photo. I don't know what it is. Again, there is high frequency texture in the foreground, but it just works well because it's dark. I would have maybe dodged a little bit by making a little bit brighter here, and here a little bit, just to make the foreground a little bit more interesting. But I love the sunset, I love the colors. It's a very simple composition, so very well done. Next, we have this beautiful photo of this elephant from G. Troger. I love the elephant. This is a photo that really communicates one simple message: an elephant. I love the light rays. I love the fact that there is a lot of black and a little bit of white and a bit of middle gray, but it's more dark. It's got great drama. Personally, and I don't know if that would have been possible, I would have gone lower with my camera. So what's behind the elephant would be the sky and not the land. But maybe that was not possible. So having the elephant stick out in the sky. But that's just to say something, because honestly, his composition, he really nailed it. So very well done to G. Troger. Okay, now that's a great example of a very intelligent use of dodge and burning. This is probably done in Italy, and this is a photo that normally I would never publish, but check this out. You have all these tourists, you can hardly see them because they are totally dark. And you see here how it's bright here, how it's bright there, how it's bright there, how the sky has a bit of brightness. This is really well done because what happens is you have different elements, and the brightest part is going to guide my eyes to here and here. The fact that this is darker takes my attention off of it. And also what I love about this photo is that all the tones are not even. Look at this wall. There is a bit of dodging here. So the wall, instead of being flat in terms of tones, goes from dark to light and back to dark. This makes the texture come out. It makes the light more interesting. And a photo that otherwise would be boring, is really interesting. One little advice I want to give you also: when you load your photo on Instagram, you can Google. You have some software where you can load a higher resolution of your photo, because when you load a higher resolution of your photo, if I zoom into it, I will get a better result. And but that's just a little detail. Try to load bigger resolutions on your Instagram, because you can even use software like IFTTT. You should check it out on the App Store. IFTTT. It's good, so you can take your Instagram photo and put it on all your other social network automatically. But for this, you have to load a nice high resolution on Instagram. So you can use that by you have different uploaders you can find on the App Store. You have different websites that you can find on the web. Okay, next we have a photo from Homid Nazem, a very beautiful castle in Germany. I love the leading line of this photo. Look how he composed the photo. We have 2/3 of land, 1/3 of sky, beautiful leading line to the castle. There is only one thing that is wrong with this photo, is that it was taken during the daylight. This same photo at sunrise or at sunset would have been 10 times better. Photography means writing with the light. So nicer is your light, nicer is going to be your photo. Also, all the tones on the castle are very even. So if you would have taken this a little light later on and do a little bit dodge and burn, it would have been 10 times better, because he's got a great eye. But maybe it was not possible. Maybe he was with family, he couldn't stay for sunset or sunrise. I'm just saying, whatever you do, if it's not at sunset or at sunrise, it will look less better. A photo will most 99% of the time look better at sunrise or at sunset, whatever framing you have. So, it reminds me of a little story I want to tell you. When I started photography 12 years ago, I went crazy because I found out how to take a photo on a tripod. So I went in Paris from 8 o'clock at night to 1 o'clock in the morning taking photos. And I took one nice photo of sunset, and then I was taking photos all the night until 1 o'clock in the morning. Took like 80 photos of beautiful Paris river, but all my sky were black. So I showed the photos the next day to a professional photographer, and he said, I don't understand, all your sky are black. There's only one good photo where you have a sunset. And then I looked at him and I said, but if I take a photo when there's a sunset, I can only take 1 photo per day. And he looked at me and says, you got it. That's what being a photographer is. You have to wait for the best light possible. Okay, next. We have this photo from Youthful. This is a church in Japan. Look at this photo, how amazing it is. It looks like a Blade Runner photo. You see there is a lot of dodge and burning. The different gradients are amazing. It goes from dark to light and back to... It's just perfect. I don't know if the dodge and burning was naturally done like this or if he did it afterwards, but in any case, it's very well done. Okay, next we have E. Thomas photo. Now I took this photo because I think this photo is kind of overcooked. I think the dodge and burning has been done too much. I think there's too much contrast. When you do dodge and burning and contrast, you have to learn when to stop. And because believe me, I've made that mistake 1,000 times. You find out about dodge and burning and you're like, wow, it's amazing. I can make this brighter. I can make this darker. I can guide the eyes of the observer. But if you do it too much, then it just looks fake. So there is a limit. And the limit is you want drama, but you don't want it to look fake. And this one is a little bit too much overcooked. I would have toned the retouching and the dodge and burning about 20%. Okay, next we have Detroit DJ. Great Smoky Mountain photo. Look at this photo. Beautiful waterfall. The only thing I would have done, and that's because I'm crazy about dodge and burn, is I would have made a little bit of highlights, a little bit stronger on the water. And here, I would have done a radial feature to make it slightly brighter here and slightly brighter there. But apart from that, very well done. Check out Detroit DJ. And one last photo, we have sky video. Now this one, I took it on purpose because I don't like the sky. I think it's got too much of an HDR look. And I don't like when there is too much blackness in clouds. I would advise you to play more with contrast between fuzzy and very detailed. You have in the foreground, you can make a very detailed subject and make a more fuzzy background. I would have had like a gradient filter with a minus clarity to make it a little more fuzzy. But voila, that's my reviews for today, guys. I hope I didn't offend anyone. This is only my viewpoint and nothing else but my viewpoint. I hope some of the tips could help you, and I will see you in another episode. Mesdames et messieurs, au revoir. Bonjour and bienvenue, welcome on my website. Do you want to get hundreds of RAW files from all over the place where you can play around with? Do you want to get amazing free Lightroom presets, free brushes, free Photoshop actions? All you have to do is enter your email address. You will receive an email, you can then create an account, and then you can access this free lesson tab. You can choose from over 200 free lessons. Every free lesson is going to have source files for you to download and play around with. It's a great way to learn photography, learn post-processing for nothing. No money, it's all free. It's a gift to you as a member of photoserge.com. So thank you and welcome, and let's do some photos together.